You're all well. Thank you for joining us today. So today is our seventh session of our summer camp, and it is our last session because, as you know, we had 7 sessions, and we've come to the end of our sessions now. I know your summer's still carrying on, but as we will talk about today, a very special month is coming up now, and I'm sure you're all going to be a little bit busy now in different ways before you go back to school. All right, so let's begin our sessions as we normally do by saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And also we can recite the dua that we used to recite before we were doing the fun activities. We can say Rabbi zidni ilma, and we can ask Allah to increase us in knowledge, because that's really very important, and especially when we talk about the special month that is coming up and what we can learn and the lessons we learn from this month. It's really important that we remember that we can always increase our knowledge. So all of us are increasing your knowledge, whatever your age, including me. Even when you're older, we all continue to learn and increase our knowledge, and that's what Allah wants us to do. Allah has asked us, and He's told us even in the Quran, that we should increase our knowledge and learn more, because the more we know, the more informed decisions we can make, the more we can think about what's right and what's wrong. So it's all very useful for us to learn and gain knowledge. And once we gain that knowledge, we should use it in the right way. Yeah. So we should try and help others maybe with that knowledge, or teach others with that knowledge. So inshallah, you're all going to be learning lots of things that you can learn for yourselves, and maybe you can share with others too. Right, so who can tell me, so you can just mute yourself if you'd like to, or you can raise your hand, which important, very important Islamic month is coming up? So Madia, you put your hand up.
Muharram.
Yep, okay, well done. So Shabba and Madia,
Muharram.
Muharram, excellent, brilliant. And Mazhar Abbas, yep,
Muharram.
Muharram, yep, excellent. And Shabba, well done. So yes, it's Muharram, brilliant. Very, very important month is coming up, which is called the month of Muharram. And lots of things happened in this month that we recall every year. So there's no year since this event happened that it wasn't recalled. So everybody is always thinking about what happened in this month of Muharram every time Muharram comes up, and even throughout the year. I'm sure you with your families may go to Majlis during the year, or maybe your parents discuss it with you as well during the year. So we remember the events of Karbala and the month of Muharram all the time. Yeah, but especially in this month, so the month of Muharram, as you all told me. And this is a month in which you'll notice a lot of us will wear black clothes, so we might not wear bright clothes. You'll find that we will go to majlis. So obviously now this year is very, very different because we have lockdown. But normally you would go to your masjids or your mosques, and you would all sit and listen to stories about Karbala, and you would lament, and you will be upset, and your parents may cry, and maybe hopefully you understand as well some of the things that happened, and they too will make you quite upset. So this is what we remember and recall in this very sad month of Muharram. Okay, so Muharram actually is the first month in our Islamic calendar. Now, our Islamic calendar works slightly different. So, as you know, in the English calendar, this year is 2020. But with our Islamic calendar was started at the beginning of Islam. So it didn't start as when the English calendar started. And also, we have our own Islamic months, which all go based on what? What do our dates of our Islamic months depend on? Can anyone tell us? Can you share with us? Anybody? You can either raise your hand or you can unmute. Yeah, exactly. The moon. Yeah. So we have a lunar calendar. So normally, it's amazing because normally every month when the new moon comes out, we can sort of, sometimes we celebrate. So especially when it's the new moon of the 1st of Shawwal and it's the end of Ramadan and it's Eid, you see the new moon, or you find out that the new moon has been sighted, and you're really excited and really happy. Even with the month of Ramadan, when it comes, when you find the moon for Ramadan and the 1st of Ramadan, the night before the 1st of Ramadan, of the night of the 1st of Ramadan, you are so excited because you know that this month, important month, is beginning, and you're looking forward to the bounties and the rewards that you get in this month. But the first day of our Islamic year, which is Muharram, and the first of Muharram for us is not like New Year's Day that you may have for the first of the English calendar. So we are very, very sort of upset on the first of Muharram, because even though a new year is beginning, and we hope that this new year is going to be a lovely year and a good year for everybody, and we can make resolutions, we can make promises to Allah about things we would like to do, we also remember that within this month of Muharram, especially the first 10 days, our Imam, which Imam went through a very difficult test during the first 10 days of Muharram? Shabbar, which Imam?
Our third Imam.
Yeah,
Our third Imam.
the third
Imam
Imam?
Hussain
Yeah,
Islam.
Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Well done. That's correct. Imam Hussein and his family, including his sons and his brothers, and even his wives and his children, his sisters, his whole family were put through a really difficult test during this month. And this is why we don't start our Islamic year with, maybe a party or celebration. We start it with the remembrance of our third Imam and the difficult time that he went through. So does anybody know which actual year it is, Islamic year? So English year is 2020. Do you know which Islamic year will be beginning in on the 1st of Muharram? Anyone have any idea? You can unmute yourself, or you can put your hand up.
Miss, it is 1440 or not?
1440. Well, you're close, very close. Husni?
I think it's 1445.
Oh, okay. Again, you're close. It's between those 2 years, 40 and 45.
1442.
Right, 1442. That's correct. Okay. So right now we're finishing 1441, and next year will be 1442. So this is the Islamic year. Okay. As you can see, it's very different. So your English year is 2020. Okay. And this is the Islamic year. Okay. All right, excellent. So during these days, like I said, we remember the events of Karbala, a place which we'll look at on the map in a minute. And who can tell me what am I sharing with you now? So last week, I think it was last week, yeah, we looked at a lovely mosque. It was the Imam Ali alayhi salam's mosque. Which mosque am I sharing with you today? Whose mosque is this? Whose special place is this? Anybody
This
know?
is the shrine of Imam Hussain alayhi salam.
That's
Shrine of
correct.
Imam Hussain.
Well done. Very good. It is
Shrine of Imam.
yeah, it was the shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And Imam Hussein alayhi salam is buried in this mosque in a tomb which is covered. And you can, if you've been to Karbala, inshallah, if you've been, you've seen it. And if you haven't been, inshallah, the time will come when you can go again, or you can go, inshallah, to see this lovely place. Yes, Madia, did you want to say something?
I wanted to say that I've been there.
Oh, excellent, beautiful. And Madia, can you tell us what it was like when you went there?
It was, that was like a,
How did it
there
feel?
was a gap between, there was two shrines and there was a gap between, which was for Ghazi Abbas's shrine.
That's correct.
Or Abu Fazl Abbas.
Okay, excellent. All right, excellent. I think Nabia, did Nabia say that she had been?
To Arbaeen.
Yeah, okay. So you've been for Arba'een. Lovely. Urva, have you been as well?
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. Excellent.
Me
So,
too.
yeah, brilliant. Wow,
When I
mashallah.
went to the shrine of Imam Hussain, I was feeling much closer to Allah.
Yes, that is correct. That's such a good feeling. You're right. So when you go to places like this, especially Imam Hussein alayhi Islam's shrine, you feel so much closer to Allah. And it feels like you can make so many du'as there. And it's so important that you make du'as there, because Allah listens to your du'as, especially when you're in such important places, so close to those so very important people like Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And as Madhia mentioned, there is also another mosque, another lovely mosque which has been built similarly. And she mentioned whose it was. Can somebody tell me whose mosque, who's the other mosque? So there's a space in between. There's one mosque, and then there's a shrine, and then there's another shrine. Yes, that's right, Hazrat Abbas. And was that Mazhar? Can you tell me what's the relationship between Imam Hussein and Hazrat Abbas?
They were half brothers.
Right, yes, they were brothers. That's
They were
correct.
brothers from
Yeah,
not the same mother.
yes,
They had a
that's
different
correct.
mother.
That's right. Yes, exactly. So they had a different mother, but they were brothers. And Hazrat Abbas loved his brother so much. He would always protect him. So even when they were younger, their parents, Imam Ali alayhi salam, and their mothers would always, Imam Hazrat Abbas's mother always told him that you are going to look after my Imam Hussein Islam. So you should always, look after him first. So like if you drink water, you should make sure he drinks water before you. And he was named, Hazrat Abbas was called an alamdar, so he was called like the bearer of the alam. Okay, so he was somebody who was very strong, and he was had a big a very strong build. And actually when he used to go to fight, he would was we were so good at fighting. So the amazing thing that happened was that actually Hazrat Abbas didn't get to go and fight, but if he had fought in Karbala, then he would have killed lots and lots of the Yazid's army. So Yazid was the opposite side to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So hopefully you know some of the story, but we're going to talk a bit more about the story as we go through. Okay. Um, Nabi has sent a lovely link here to Imam's shrine. So let's see if we got if we have some time today in today's session. I will open it up and share it with you all. Or if not, it's there for you, so you can also have a look, inshallah. Okay, so we are all the way over here in United Kingdom. And however, this story or this event took place in a country called Iraq, okay, which is all the way over here. Now, Iraq wasn't the place where the Imam used to live. Yeah, Imam lived in Saudi Arabia in a place called Medina. Okay, so how did he go from Medina all the way to Iraq? There's a story about how this all took place and what happened and how he ended up in this special place called Karbala, in land of Karbala, in a place called Iraq. Okay, a country called Iraq.
He
Yes,
started in the month of Rajab.
that's okay. Yes, you're right. Okay. All right. So he was in Medina. Okay. So lots of different things happened as the 10 days passed. Okay. So um, on the eve of, so just let's, if we were to think about it, if you would like to create like a calendar for yourself, on the eve of the 1st of Muharram, we spend our time remembering the Imam's death and looking at the moon. So like I was saying, we don't celebrate when we see this new moon. We start to remember about the events that happened and feel sad for the death of our Imam and his family. It was, they were traveling, they started traveling much before. So actually, let me see if I can share the map. So this is Medina over here, number one. Okay, so Imam Hussein alayhi salam and the Holy Ahl Bayt alayhi salam left to go. They were in Medina and they left to go to Makkah actually. Okay, because they were going to go and perform Hajj. So this is at Hajj time, so the month of Dhul Hajj. They wanted to go and do perform Hajj. Okay, so they went to a place. So they went from here, Medina, to Makkah to go and do Hajj. And if you remember from the map, this is Saudi Arabia here. Okay. While they were in Makkah, they would Imam Hussein alayhi salam was informed that the army, Yazid's army, wanted to come and kill him. Okay, and it's very important actually that there is no blood or there is no killing in this holy place of Makkah. So Imam Hussein alayhi salam didn't want the Yazid and his army to come and attack him in this holy place. So he decided that he and his family would leave. So they didn't actually get to do Hajj. If you remember, just a couple of days we celebrated Eid al-Adha, and all those people who had gone for Hajj were able to perform the rituals of Hajj. But unfortunately, Imam Hussein alayhi salam on this time was not able to complete his Hajj because he was knew that some people were coming to kill him, and not because he was scared, but because he didn't want to move, or he didn't want anyone to kill him in this holy land. Yes, Nabi, I will share with you the link, inshallah. So some of the pictures that I'm showing you are from a special book that you may have seen or you may have used or you may have heard of, Salam Moji, and they have a lot of activities that you can
Yes,
do too.
I have them.
Yeah, okay, excellent. Right, so from there they left and they were heading for a place called Kufa. The Imam had a cousin called Muslim ibn Akil, and he had sent Imam because the people of Kufa were saying that Yazid and the bad people were taking control of everything, and they weren't letting them follow the right Islam. They were telling them different things, like the Yazid was quite a bad person. He said that he was a Muslim, but unfortunately he was doing things that are not the right things for Islam. So he wouldn't pray, he would drink alcohol, which are things that we should not do. We should always make sure we pray on time. He was not nice to other people. So one of the most important things about being a Muslim is being fair and just and giving everybody their rights. But unfortunately, Yazid and his army wanted, or Yazid and his people wanted, power over everything. So they also wanted Imam Hussein to listen to them, and follow their Islam, or the way they wanted to do things. But Imam Hussein didn't want to do that, because he knew that his grandfather, who was Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, followed the right Islam. And then his father, Imam Ali alayhi salam, continued to follow the right path of Islam. However, Yazid and his army wanted to change this. They wanted more power. They wanted their own rules. But Imam Hussein alayhi salam wanted to make sure that the right Islam was saved and was shared with other Muslims. Even his brother Imam Hassan, so even Imam Ali and Imam Hassan alayhi salam, fought, and they didn't fight physically, but they were always trying to discuss. And as Imam Hassan did, alayhi salam, did, he had a peace treaty at that time. He tried to make peace, but he also tried to make sure that the right Islam was followed. However, this wasn't happening, and the people of Kufa were really worried, and they called Imam Hussein. They said, Imam Hussein, come to us, we need your help. If you come to us, we will join your army, we will fight with you, we will be on your side. So Imam Hussein alayhi salam sent his cousin to Kufa and asked him to find out what's happening there and tell those people that I'm coming to help them. However, when Muslim ibn Aqil went to Kufa, the Yazid and the bad people there found out that he was there, and they did actually kill him. So they didn't let um, Muslim ibn Aqil tell the other people that, that Imam Hussein was coming, or also to the people there didn't actually help Muslim ibn Aqil, even though he was the cousin of Imam Hussein. So Imam got a message to say that the people of Kufa were calling him, and he wanted to go to them. But Imam Hussein alayhi salam, on his way, was diverted. He wasn't able to go to Kufa, and he then followed a path, all right, and he went to a special place in Iraq called Karbala. And actually, sorry, Kufa is in Karbala. I mean, is in Iraq as well. Okay, so it's another city in Iraq. And if you go to Iraq, and you go to Kufa, you'll see Imam Ali alayhi salam had a house there, and there's a special masjid there. Um, so this is where Imam Hussein alayhi salam wanted to go. He went then to a place called Karbala. Okay, and on the 10th of so actually he reached there on the 2nd of Muharram. Okay, so when the special month of ours comes, on the second day, so the first day, then the second day was the day that Imam Hussein alayhi salam and his family reached Karbala. Now, Imam Hussein alayhi salam had always been told, his father, Imam Ali alayhi salam, had told him that this event will happen. He knew what was going to happen, okay? But, so he knew, but obviously he knew what he was going to do. His job was to save Islam. When he got to this special land, he didn't want to just die on somebody else's land. So he brought this land of Karbala. So he bought it from the people that were there, and he brought the land so that it was their land. And this is where they died. So they were killed actually in the battle, and then they were buried there. And now this is where we have those lovely shrines, like we saw, for us to go and to feel sad, or to remember those sad events that happened on that land there. Okay, and it was a day of Ashura. So Ashura means the 10th of, so Ashra, it means 10 in Arabic. So the day of Ashura is the day in which, on the actual day that Imam Hussein alayhi salam and his family were killed. Okay, so the battle actually took place on the 10th of Muharram. So until then, from the 2nd of Muharram to the 10th of the Muharram, they were in this land, just in tents, in the sand and the desert. Now, one of the most cruelest thing that Yazid and his army did was what? Does anybody know? One of the cruelest thing that his army did, they banned or stopped something from Imam Hussein's family. Shabba.
To stop water.
Yes, they stopped water. Okay, so they didn't let Imam Hussein, and because Imam Hussein and his family were going to go and put up their tents by the river, and we call it the River Farat, or you can call it River Euphrates. There was a river, and they were going to go and put their tents there so that they could then drink the water. But the Yazid's cruel army didn't let them do that, and they themselves had their army in front of the river so that Imam Hussein and his family could not get to the water. So they had some water, and they were able to get some water until the 7th of Muharram. However, from the 7th of the Muharram, so if you think about it, there's 3 days, 7th, 8th, from the 7th, so you got the 7th, you got 8th, 9th, and 10th, they didn't have any water. So 7th, 8th, and 9th, and then obviously 10th was Ashura Day. They didn't have any water. So I'm just going to ask you, how would you feel if you didn't have any water? I mean, some of us in our fasts, if you're fasting, if you tried fasting this year, we went without food or drink for how many hours? Probably about quite a few hours. Most of the day you were in fasting. How does it feel when you don't have water for a little while? Can anyone share that with us?
Thirsty.
Yeah, you feel thirsty. What else? How is your feeling? What do Aura?
It feels really weird, like you haven't had
Mm-hmm.
water.
Yeah, yeah, okay. A weird feeling. Um, did we find any remains? Oh, okay. Well, I was just seeing what Madi had written. Remains of tents or other things that they used in the battle. Yes, I think they did find some things. But we'll try and talk about some of that a bit later, inshallah. Sayyida Jiha Rizvi, what would you like to share?
I actually last Ramadan
Mm-hmm.
I fasted. I fasted twice or three times,
Very good.
and I didn't have that much problem because
Mhm.
I am quite a fussy eater.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So you were okay about not eating. But can you imagine if you had to do that for a couple of days? How would that feel?
Same.
Same? Are
Because
you sure? Mm.
yeah, because I wasn't so eager for
Mm-hmm.
the meal at
Yeah.
the end.
Okay.
And one of them I didn't have sari with, and still
Okay.
I didn't
Yeah.
have that much.
Okay, so let's leave the food. Let's say we can live without food, but how about water, especially now in this place, it was a very hot country. It was very, very hot. So and they're outside in the desert, so they're not in a nice, cool house like we can be with a fan in front of us. It would be very, very difficult. Yeah. And our bodies are made in such a way that we do need food and water. Yeah. But water especially, okay? That thirsty feeling, if you imagine you're outside in the sun, you can just feel, I'm sure you could feel like your throat's very dry. It's very, very difficult. And remember, in this the people that were with Imam Hussein alayhi salam wasn't just adults and men and brave people, strong people. It was also including little children, ladies, and even babies. Okay, so Imam Hassan alayhi salam had a baby called Ali Asghar, and he was also killed in this event of Karbala, but he was only a few months old. Okay, so even he was unable to get water. Yeah. So very, very cruel. Now, here we're going to talk about Abdul Fadl Abbas. And as we mentioned before, he was the brother of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Very loyal. He would always listen to his brother. Um, he wanted to fight from the first day. He was always ready, and he would always ask the Imam, "Can I go and fight? I want to fight. I want to, I want us to win." But Imam Hussein always used to stop him and said, "Not now, not now." Okay, but there was a time when Bibi Sakina was and the other children were all wanting water. They were crying because they didn't have water. They're so thirsty, they really wanted water. So Imam Hazrat Abbas went to his brother Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and he said, "If you don't send me to fight, but please let me just go and get some water for them just now." Okay, Imam gave him permission, but he did say to him, because he knew what was going to happen, he said to him, "I hope that you won't regret that you're going to go, because maybe, what will happen. Let's see what will happen." So Hazrat Abbas was so brave, and he got all the way, imagine, so he passed through all the people, and he got all the way to the river, to the water. Okay, and he had something special called a mushk, and it's a bit like a little flask that you fill water in it, and you may see it when maybe you go to a majlis. Sometimes it's hung on an alam. Sometimes you see it. It's made out of leather, a little like leather, brown material, and it can carry water. He managed to fill up the water, so that's really, really good. He filled up the water, and he had an alam with him. So he had a stick with a flag at the end, and it was a nice tall stick. So the children from the tents could see what was happening. Okay, so they could see from far away where this flag was. So they saw that Hazrat Abbas had got to the water and was able to fill up this water. However, these cruel people, Yazid and his army, so some of the people came and they didn't let Hazrat Abbas take this water back to the tents. And unfortunately, they killed him. And there's a lot of events that happened on how they killed Hazrat Abbas, but he did die and he didn't actually make it back to the tents with the water. Now that was really, really sad. And Bibi Sakina, the baby who wanted, the young girl who wanted the water, really regretted then afterwards for asking for this water, because obviously her uncle was more dear to her. But however, the water didn't get back to her. If we just think about this for 1 minute, if we think about water, um, how do we treat water? I mean, you see water all the time. So we have water in our showers, we have water coming from our sinks. Do you like look after water? Do you think that it's an important thing, or do we just take it for granted that we have water? Can somebody share something about that? Yes, Ura.
Yes, I think water is really special because when if you're dirty and you need to have a shower, you need water to clean yourself and read
That's
Namaz.
right. Yeah, yeah. And here we are so lucky. We just turn on a tap and the water comes out. Sometimes even we turn up the tap and we forget that we've turned on the tap, and we might start talking to someone, or we might start doing something else, and we forget that all of this water is coming out and is being wasted. But water is so special now. Even today, you think, it's quite surprising to think that there are some children and there are some countries in which the children don't have clean, fresh water to drink, to have showers with, like you mentioned. So water is still very, very precious. Yes, Sayyidah Jiha, what would you like to say?
Um, Water is special, and I know some countries that children don't have that much water.
That's right. Yeah.
And once in that time, they were given paint and a brush, and
Yeah.
were told to draw a river or something. They didn't paint it blue because they had never seen clean water. They painted it
Right.
brown.
Wow. Okay. That's so sad, isn't it? That
Yeah.
they have never seen clean water. And even now, yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's really important to think about. And what happens for us when our water comes out of our sinks? It's been from the river, it's gone through a whole, machine, they go through treatment centers, it gets cleaned, and then it comes to us. Okay, so we're drinking clean water. How lucky are we? So now I would like you all to think every time you drink water. So after this class, next time you go and drink some water, just really thank Allah that you've got clean water to drink. And then also, like they say, think of Imam Hussein alayhi salam every time you take a sip of water. Okay, think about him and his family. Imagine you're that young child, like Bibi Sakina, who didn't have water for 3 days. So just really appreciate that water that you have, and think how important it is and how lucky you are that Allah has given you fresh, clean water that you can use every day. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
really lucky.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. And these are little things, we just have to sometimes remind ourselves, even myself, I get busy with life and I would just, take water and I'll drink it. And I won't think that I should be grateful for this, but we should remind ourselves that we are so lucky to have these. I don't think I will do this. Okay, so there's lots of names, and I know that you all know so much about Muharram and Karbala. So hopefully, when you've been to majalises, maybe you've been to some workshops and you've been taught things, or I'm sure your parents teach you a lot as well about Muharram and the events. Then there are some special people who were part of Karbala, who either maybe got killed with Imam Hussein and his family, and some of them are his family, or that were just there during the event. Here are some names. I want you to see if you can work out. So there's, what do you call it? It's an anagram, yeah. When the letters are all mixed up, and you have to tell me which name it is. Somebody special from the camp of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Okay. So number one, anybody know?
Can I tell?
Yep, Nabila, number one. You know number one?
Abbas.
Excellent. Well done, everyone who said Abbas. You can unmute yourself and just say it if you know it. And I think Madia has worked out number two. Everybody, anyone else want to say number two? Who's number two?
Ali Akbar.
Ali Akbar.
Ali
Excellent.
Akbar.
Well done. So let's stop there. Ali Akbar alayhi salam was who? Who is Ali Akbar?
The son of Imam Hussein.
Right.
Hussein.
Yeah, the son of Imam Hussein. Excellent. Number three. What's that? What's name? What name is that?
Muhammad.
Yes, well done. Well done, Muhammad Ali Raza Shah. I think he's worked out
On.
number 3 and 4. So Muhammad and On and Muhammad are often said in majlises. Who were On and Muhammad? Who were they?
The sons of Bibi Zainab.
That's
The sons
correct.
of
Well
Bibi
done.
Zainab.
And who was Bibi Zainab, just so that we know?
The
Everybody
sister
knows.
of Imam Hussein.
Right, okay, excellent. So On and Muhammad, young children, they were the children of Imam Hussein's sister, and they also went to the battlefield. Young children also went to the battlefield to try and save Islam. So can you imagine how even children around your age were so, helped us actually, and they were so strong and so brave that they went to fight Yazid's big army of thousands and thousands, millions of people to save Islam for us, yeah, to save Islam for all of us. So that's like, you know, a really good thing to think about. Okay, how about number 5?
Habib ibn Zahir.
That's right, well done, Habib ibn Zahir, well done. And how about number 6? A very important person, number 6. I know what. Hur, yes. What was so special about Hur? Do you know?
He was first in Yazid's army, and then he changed to Imam Hussein.
That's correct. Well done.
And
Okay.
he was the one who didn't want Imam Hussein to. He didn't. Imam Hussein asked her, "Can we leave?" But then Hur refused.
Yes,
So whatever Imam Hussein asked him, he refused.
that's correct, right? So Hur actually was one of the ones who stopped Imam Hussein from doing what he wanted to do. And he was very cruel to him. And he is the one actually who diverted Imam Hussein alayhi salam to Karbala, to the land of Karbala where Imam was going to die. But something very special happened to Hur, which is why we remember him during these days. Because he did what? What did he, beginning with F, did he ask for?
Food.
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness. That's correct.
Forgiveness.
Yeah. So through this, Allah reminds us something very special, that we can always ask for forgiveness. Okay. So whatever bad things we may do, and we all, like, you know, none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. However bad we feel that we've done something, we can always ask for forgiveness. So we should never think that, oh, I did something so bad that I can't even ask for forgiveness. Allah says that we should ask for forgiveness for our sins. So Hur was a perfect example of this. I mean, not good that he did what he did to the Imam, but what Allah proved to us was that if you ask for forgiveness and if you are sincere and you understand what is right, in the end, you will be forgiven. And Hur was so lucky that he then got to fight with the Imam, and inshallah he would be in paradise because he made the right choice. Okay, Benin, would you like to say something?
No.
Okay, sorry, I thought you unmuted. Well done.
The next one is Hussein, then John.
Okay, yes. All right, thank you. So 7, 8 is Hussein and John. Well done. Now number 9. What's number 9? Who's number 9?
Ali Azhar.
Right, and who can tell me who Ali Asghar was?
Qasim.
Yeah? Son of?
Imam Hussein.
Right, excellent. The son of Imam Hussein. And like I told you before, Yazid army was so cruel. They didn't even spare a little tiny baby. Okay, so on the 10th of Muharram, Imam Hussein, because the baby was crying and it was so thirsty, hadn't had any milk. The mother couldn't give him any milk and hadn't had any water, was thirsty. So the Imam thought, let me ask these cruel people, maybe they would just give this 6-month-old baby some water. Okay, so you would think, however cruel somebody is, you would see a baby and you'd want to help them maybe. However, the Yazid's army was just so cruel that they didn't even spare this little baby. Then actually they threw an arrow at Ali Asghar, and baby Ali Asghar was also killed in Karbala. Okay.
The archer, Yazid's archer shot it. Yazid's archer
Yes,
shot an arrow with 3 points.
Then
that's right. Yeah. Does anyone want to add?
the next one is Qasim.
Okay, the next one is Qasim. Good. All right. Yes. So Ali, I'll just go back to Ali Asghar and also Ali Akbar. These were the two sons of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and it said that they are buried with Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Okay. And the last one is Qasim, and there's also Qasim was a very special person. Who was it, Qasim? How is he related to
He
Imam
was
Hussein?
Imam Hassan's son.
Right, excellent.
Imam Hassan
And
alayhi
you know the
salam's
special
son.
thing about Qasim, Hazrat Qasim, when he came to ask the Imam for permission to go and fight, Imam Hussein didn't want to send him because he was his brother's son, the brother that he had lost who had been killed. Imam Hassan had already been killed. He didn't want to
And
lose his son. Yeah?
and what else was that? When he asked Imam Hussein, he asked that, "Am I in the list of the martyrs of Karbala?"
Yeah, you're right. And he was also asked, so Qasim was asked, what do you think about death? Does anybody know what he answered?
He said
Death is
that
sweeter than honey.
that is more
Love it.
honey.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, so
Love is
sweet.
sweet. Death is sweet to him.
Yeah, so death is sweet, sweeter than honey. So if you ever tasted honey, honey is so sweet and tasty. But Qasim said that, to kill or to be killed or to die for Islam is
It's
even
sweeter
sweeter
than
than
honey.
honey. So imagine it's like the most amazingest thing if you can then give your life for Islam, for the right path. And that's how Hazrat Qasim felt, and that's what he said. Okay. And actually, he was able to, Imam Hassan had given guidance before he died that Qasim should be one of the ones who go to battle. Okay. So there's so many stories. I can't even fit it in. There's no way I can fit it in 1 hour, but there's so many stories. And mashallah, it's really good to know that a lot of you know the stories behind what happened in Karbala.
And Qasim was even trampled by the horses,
Yes, you're right.
and
That's
his
right.
bones even broke into pieces.
Yes, yes. This is important. This is something. Yeah. Right. And learning these facts, so it's so good. I'm really impressed with the knowledge that you all have. And it's so important because the knowledge you have, then you will grow up and you will share that with your children. And this will carry on in years to come, just like the knowledge has come to us, and it will continue. And until people are on this earth, inshallah, this message or these events that had happened in Karbala will continue to be shared with us, with the people around us, with the Muslims, yeah? And even others. So even non-Muslims are understanding and they know about these events. Once they come to know about what happens, a lot of the non-Muslims, is even priests and other religions, religious people who know about Imam Hussein alayhi salam and know what he sacrificed and appreciate what he sacrificed. So this is something important also to remember. We're not going to do that. Okay, so let's just go through. Let me check the time. Okay. Some of the lessons that we can learn. Okay, there's so much to learn from the events of Karbala. Okay, but if you think about it, Imam Hussein, such a good role model for all of us, and he was so patient. Okay, if he wanted to, on the first day of Muharram, the first of Muharram, or when they stopped the water, he could have just gone and fought against the people and tried, his best to win this battle. But he waited, and he waited till the 10th of Muharram. He let those events happen. He was patient in this time. He didn't get angry at anybody. You and me might get angry if someone said, you're not allowed water. We'd get really angry. I would get angry. Why won't you let me have the water? But Imam Hussein alayhi salam stayed calm and he stayed composed. So also when we're angry, sometimes we let that anger out on people around us. But Imam Hussein was calm and he was nice to the people around him. He didn't let them know that that what's happening and that it made him feel tense. If it made him feel tense, he stayed nice and patient. Okay. Lady Zainab is someone who she would always ask her brother first. Okay, so you should ask first. Okay, so you should think about what you want to do. So especially as we're children, when you're children, we should ask our parents before we just go and do something. Okay, Lady Zainab used to ask her brother, can I come out the tents, or can I do this? And she would always respect the responses that she got. Okay, Hazrat Abbas Islam kept a promise. And what promise did he keep? That he was loyal to his brother. So even when he got to the water and he filled up his flask of water, he didn't drink the water. He stayed loyal to his brother, and he wanted to get back to give that water to his brother first. So let's keep our promises. So sometimes it's so easy that maybe someone said to us, I don't like that person, but don't tell them. Yeah. Sometimes it's very easy for us to just go and tell that person, you know what, that person said they don't like you. But we have to keep our promises. And that's a very important or very um, good sign of a Muslim. Okay, so to be able to keep promises. So if someone says to you to keep this promise, make sure you keep that promise. Okay. On and Muhammad, they did teamwork. They worked with the others. Yeah, like they were children, but they didn't worry. They weren't scared. They stayed brave and they worked with the people around them. They didn't argue with them. So some of us, if we were in that situation, we might get really angry, or we might just want people to do what we want them to do. But they listened and they got together and they followed whatever their team or what the people were doing. Now the companions are the people that were with the Imam, and they prayed together. Now, this is such an important thing. Praying together gives us so much reward. Okay, whether you pray with your family, whether you go to the mosque and pray with the other people, you pray together and you get more reward, and it's very good for you. And the other thing that, if we're talking about praying, it's to remember to pray. Because even on the 10th of Muharram, when they were on the battlefield, the Imam and his family prayed. So when it was Zohar time, even at Fajr time, they woke up and they made their Fajr, they prayed their Fajr Salah. But at Asr time, when it was Asr time, they stopped. They wanted to stop the battle and they wanted to read their Asr Salah. Okay, even in a battlefield, they had people with armor protecting them. So some people protected them while they did read Salah. So they protected each other while they read Salah, the namaz. So this is something really important. I mean, we sometimes are just a bit too tired to read Salah. But think that these people, these are very important people like the Imam and his family, saved our prayer, saved Islam. So we should make sure that we pray on time as well. All right. Is there anything anyone would like to say? Would you like to share something? Anyone? I've talked for quite a bit there. There's lots of information. Yeah.
Just because of the class, just before the class, I was reading Salah with my dad.
Very good. Well done. That's very important. Well done to remember to read.
Before the class, I try to read Salah all the time.
Excellent. Well done. And when we do that, it becomes like we remember to do it. So then if we don't do it, then we feel like, oh, we've done something wrong. We have to remember and remind ourselves that we need to pray our Salah. Well done. Very good. So here's some more examples. So we spoke about Bibi Sakina, and she was generous. After the events of Karbala, after the 10th of Muharram, when they were actually given some water, so the children and the ladies were given some water. Imagine you haven't had water for 3 days. Some of us, we were so thirsty. It'll be natural for us to just take the glass and just drink it because we are so thirsty. But Bibi Sakina was so generous, and she thought, I have a baby brother who hasn't had any water, and she actually wanted to go and give the water to her baby brother. But obviously, like we said before, Hazrat Ali Asghar, who was her baby brother, was already killed. He was killed in Karbala. But she was so generous. So sometimes when we haven't got enough, we when we haven't got something and we get it, we don't become greedy, but we just want to have it. But even in such a difficult situation, Bibi Sakina was generous, and she thought, no, I can't drink the water until someone younger than me who is thirsty has it. That's something we can do in our lives as well. So you can always be generous. Think about the younger children before yourself. So think about maybe your younger baby brothers or sisters. Even think about the old elders. So, if somebody's thirsty, you could maybe give them a glass. And actually giving water to people is very rewarding. So if your parents ask you for some water, don't say, no, I'm busy or I'm doing this. We should always we should always get up and go and give a glass of water. We should always try and give water because it's so rewarding to give water to others. All right. Hazrat Ali Akbar. Now here, his example is that you should listen to your elders. Okay. Before I move on, Nabiha would like to say something about Hazrat Ali Asghar. Yeah, Nabiha?
He was very small when he was not given water, and a bad person from the Yazid's army named Hormala threw an arrow on his chest, which was the arrow which we throw on the camels to kill them.
Yeah, that's right. So it's not even just a normal arrow. It was a, a very big.
6 months.
Yeah, only 6 months. That's right. And this arrow wasn't just a small arrow, not just like a normal straight arrow. It was an arrow that was used to kill animals, very big, with 3 sections to, and you imagine the baby's only 6 months, very small size. Yeah. Okay. This one, the last one, I think is also very important. Hazrat Qasim, to be positive. Hazrat Qasim was about to go and die or be killed. Okay. Some of us might start thinking, oh, this is the worst thing ever. And, start thinking negatively. Why does this always happen to me? Or, start thinking bad things. But he was so positive, and he said, I'm fine. I'm happy with what is going to happen to me. And dying is just like honey, sweeter than honey. He was just so happy to be able to do so. He was thinking positively. And he had the right idea, because if we all think about what is ahead, so, Allah has created this earth and he's put us onto earth. But inshallah, all of us one day will die. But we shouldn't be scared of that, because we should be doing all the right things, so that once that happens, inshallah, Allah would put us in even a better place. So we should always be positive. Okay, do the right things and think positively, inshallah. All right. Okay, I think I'm going to move on. What I'd like to say before we do the Kahoot for today is that Imam Hussein alayhi salam and his family did so much for us. Okay, so when the first of Muharram comes, so it's probably on Thursday or Friday, when it comes, I want you to make a promise to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. What are you going to promise to do? How are you going to think about all the wonderful things that the Imam and his family did for us? And what can you promise him? Okay, I'd like you to have a think. Maybe some of you could share some ideas, because I'm sure you've got some ideas of some promises that you could make to the Imam. Mujtaba, I noticed your hand is up. What would you like to say?
I would like to promise him that I would pray Salah on
Very good. Yeah, that's a really good promise.
time.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Serious Fatima. Mujtaba, what did you want to say?
The thing I would like to say was, remember about you were talking about the arrow that had 3 points, and it was just not a single regular arrow, because they were so mean. They used 3-pointed arrow, and that 3-pointed arrow is an arrow that is used to kill the animals.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you.
And that's how mean they were.
Yes, exactly. And it's important so that we remember these facts and we pass them on, so that everybody remembers or realizes how cruel they were. They weren't just cruel, they were so cruel that they would not even just kill, but they killed with such a, big arrow. That's a very important point. Okay, thank you. Sayyida Jiha?
Well, I promise Imam Hussein that I will try and keep Islam, religion that we have, together.
Excellent.
And my dad told me one thing. The other religions like Christianity and all the other ones.
Yeah.
They're actually made from our imams, different people. They just, the people just wanted to follow one of them. But Islam is like the whole thing.
Okay.
Islam started all this up.
Okay. Excellent. There are lots of links. So like even with our prophets, so Prophet Musa alayhi salam is also known as Moses for Christians. Yeah. We have lots of links, and there are bits that come from other religions or similar stories. So the Prophet Noah, or they might say Prophet Noah. and they have Noah, so the Noah's Ark. So they have, we have similar stories that sometimes interlinked. But in mashallah, the religion of Islam is a complete one that we can have full trust that we are learning the right and are on the right path. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Anybody else want to tell us what you'd like to promise the Imam for this month of Muharram? So, and not just for this month, but obviously you'll promise him now so that inshallah it's something you continue forever.
Pray namaz on time.
You will, sorry?
I will pray namaz on time.
Yep, excellent. Pray namaz on time. Okay, good. Anyone else?
We should promise Hazrat Abbas that he was too much loyal to his brother Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So we should ask him that we should be loyal with our Imam Zamana.
Oh, yes, excellent. Very good. Yeah, so remember the Imam of our time and be loyal to him. Very good. And inshallah, you will all grow up and we will all be loyal to him, inshallah. Yeah. Sirat Fatima?
Be generous to others like Bibi Sakina did.
Yeah, be generous to others. Excellent. So give to others before giving to ourselves. Maybe we have a bag of sweets. We got one left. It's your favorite sweet. Rather than eating that sweet, share it. Give it to somebody. Maybe your younger sister really wants it. Share it. Yeah? Okay. All right. Excellent. So before we do the dua, I'm going to do the Kahoot with you. So if you can get onto Kahoot.
Mama.
Kahoot.it. Let me just find
I don't know
where.
the link. I don't know the link.
Kahoot.it. Yeah. Let me just come out and just find out where I've got it. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm going to share it 1 second. Kahoot.it. All right, now let me share the screen with you. Okay, so the code is 457968.
457968. 457968.
457968. Let me write it in there.
Somebody's mic is muted.
968. Okay. Benin, you said not eating or like fasting. Okay, yeah, so you could fast and you can think when you're fasting about the difficult time that the Imam and his family had. But remember, obviously, it's important that you have food and water and that you do drink food and water. Allah has given you food and water, so I don't want you to don't say that your promise is to stop eating. You should make sure you eat good food, look after your body. But if you're fasting and you're not having food for a while, or maybe if dinner is a bit later and you're feeling really hungry, at that time, just think of those children who didn't have food or water for a long time. Okay, but make sure you still do eat and drink. Okay. Excellent. So 9 of you are here. Just a couple more. And now I've talked a lot today, so I'm hoping most of the answers are in your Kahoot, but just in case there may be some new questions. So you will know a lot though, so hopefully you'll be able to answer them, inshallah.
Can you wait 2 minutes, please?
Yes, no problem. So we got 9 children in. We'll just wait a couple more minutes. Yep, 10. Just a few more minutes. So let me know if you're having any issues in connecting. Okay. Anybody else? We'll just wait one more minute.
I'm having an issue, miss.
Oh, okay. What's happened? Did you put the code in, the pin?
Yes.
Yeah. And what's it saying on your computer? What does it say on your computer? Mushtaba, did you want to say something? Notice your hand is up.
The thing I would like to say is,
Mm-hmm.
one day I think I saw 2 Mujtabas because my name is Mujtaba, and can you see my name on the screen?
Yep, I can see your name. So I've got.
So it's It's right on the bottom of the middle line.
Yes, yes.
And one day I saw too much the bus.
Oh.
And now I'm not seeing too much the bus.
Oh, that's strange. That's okay. As long as one of you is here, that's fine. I don't know what the other one was. Maybe we had another child that day that was called Mujtaba. But as long as you're here, that's fine for now. As long as I can see you. I can see you, so you're in the game. Okay?
Okay.
Don't worry. Thank you. Okay, there's still let's start. Yes, we're about to start. Sorry, Nabiha. We're just seeing because now I've gone down to 8. I had 10 a minute ago, so something's happened. Is there anyone who's having problems, or shall we get started? Benin is here. Let me just go through. Fazil is here.
Yes, I'm having problems. I can't log on.
Okay, you went to kahoot.it
Yeah.
and you put in this code, this pin.
No.
Is it asking you for the pin?
No.
Okay, try going to load up kahoot.it again. Are you on a phone or a computer?
Phone.
Okay, so it should ask you to enter a pin once you're on kahoot.it.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, we've got it. We've got it.
Okay, excellent. Well done. Okay, anybody else? All right, I think we will get started then. Okay, well done. Thank you for all of you who are being patient. Patience is also very important. Let's get started. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. First question, say Bismillah. Karbala was a battle of power to save Islam, for politics or leadership. Which one do you think? Why did the event of Karbala happen? Okay, very good. Well done. 10 answers are in. Let's find out if you got it right. Very good. Everyone got it right. It was to save Islam.
The answer was it was not showing anything on my screen.
So you'll need to see the computer and have a screen open because the answer comes up onto 1. Okay, what I can do for the next question is say the color and the answers. So listen to the answers, okay?
It's saying incorrect when I couldn't even when I couldn't even press anything.
You couldn't see, yeah, okay. All right, let me try and tell you the answers and you can choose the right color, inshallah. Okay, so to save Islam was the correct answer. Well done. Okay, Shabba, you're there at the top. Well done, Mazhar. Is this Rayan and Rahi, Madiha, and Nabi Abbas? Excellent. And well done, everyone else. Keep going. Next question. Where is Karbala? Okay, is it red, a city in Saudi Arabia, blue in Iraq? Is it yellow, a person, or green, a day? Okay, so where is it? You actually need a country here. Yes, it is in Iraq. Well done. Well done, everyone. Oh, some slight changes, adjustments on our board there. Keep going, everyone. I'm going to keep going. Number 3, who killed Hazrat Ali Asghar alayhi salam in Karbala? Shimmer, Shimmer, which is red, blue, Hurmala, yellow, not sure, green, Ibn Sa'd. Who do you think it was? Okay, 2 more seconds left. Well done. Yes, it was Hurmala. Well done. Okay, so one person wasn't sure. Okay, good. All right, excellent. Some more changes. Shabba, you were at the top, then went down and come back up. Rayan and Rahi, well done. You've got the streak of having all the right answers. Very good. And well done, everyone else. Let's keep going. Number 4. How old was Hazrat Qasim alayhi salam when he was martyred? So roughly, how old do you think he was? Red, 6. Blue, 16. Yellow, 13. Green, 18. Roughly, how old do you think he was? So sometimes because it's history, different stories tell you different ages. So which one do you think he was roughly? Okay, excellent. Let's see. He was roughly 13. Okay, good. Well done. Most of you got that. He wasn't so young as 6, and he wasn't yet, as old as 16. But it's important to remember sometimes stories we listen to, we might be told different facts. Okay, right. Well done. And let's keep going. For number 5. At the martyrdom of whom did Imam Hussein alayhi salam's hair turn white? Okay, red, Hazrat Abbas, blue, Hazrat Ali Akbar, yellow, Ali Asghar, and green, Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. When did we didn't mention this, but when do you think his hair turned white? Right. It turned white on the death, this was a hard one, of his son, Ali Akbar alayhi salam. He was very affected, obviously, when his brother died and when his baby died, but the stories tell us that it was when his son, Ali Akbar alayhi salam, died that his hair went white. Okay? It was a difficult one. Well done, everyone. Let's keep going. Number 6. Were the camps of Hussein alayhi salam burnt in Sham Ghariba? So Sham Ghariba was the night after the event. Were the tents burnt? False, not sure, true. What do you think? Were the camps, the tents burnt? Okay, 4 more seconds. False, red. Okay, yes, true. It was true. So these people were just so cruel. It just didn't stop. Even after they killed Imam Hussein and his family, they then went to the place where the children and the ladies were, and they burnt their tents. You know, that this is just the cruelest of the cruel. You know, this is very, very cruel. You can't imagine. They just didn't leave them alone. They were being so cruel. Well done. We've got some changes on our board. Let's keep going. Number 7. What time of the day was Imam Hussein alayhi salam martyred? Early morning, blue is late night, yellow is Dhuhr time, green is Asr time. When do you think he was killed? When was he martyred? Martyred means that you die in the way of your religion, for Islam specifically here. Yes, it was Asr time. Well done. Okay, good. So some more changes. Well done, everyone. Keep going. It's nice to see that the names are changing. How is Sayyidah Zainab related to Imam Hussein alayhi salam? Was she his mother, daughter, sister, or wife? How was she related to Imam Hussein alayhi salam? Okay, very good. Let's keep going. Just a couple more seconds. I think we've got most of the answers in. And let's see. Yes, it's correct. His sister. Well done. Okay, well done. No changes there on the board. Keep going. Number 9. Who is buried with Imam Hussein alayhi salam? So if you remembered, I mentioned who is also buried with Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Very good. Some answers are coming in quick. Well done. Was it say the Sakina? Was it say Hazrat Abbas? Or was it Qasim? Or Ali Akbar and Ali Asghar? Who do you think it was? So well done. 7 of you got it right. If you remember, I said his sons, Ali Akbar and Ali Asghar alayhi salam, were buried with him. Very good. Excellent. Shabba, you got the streak. And you're moving up on the board as well. Well done. Number 10. Hazrat Qasim alayhi salam is the son of who? Imam Hassan alayhi salam, Sayyidah Zainab, Hazrat Abbas, or Imam Ali alayhi salam. Who was Hazrat Qasim alayhi salam the son of? Okay, nearly there. 1 more second. Correct. Well done. 10. Oh, so 10 of you said it's Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Brilliant. Okay, no changes there to the board. Nearly there. 4 more questions. What is the date of the martyrdom of Imam Hussein alayhi salam? What specific day was he killed? 11th Muharram, 10th Muharram, 9th Muharram, or the 1st of Dhul Hajj? Which month, which day was he killed? Or martyred? Very good. Well done. 10 of you had said the 10th of Muharram. Excellent. Well done. Okay, board stayed the same. Nearly there. 3 more questions. Muharram is which month of the Islamic year? Now, if you're listening right at the beginning, you will know, but I'm sure you know anyway. Okay, 10 of you have answered. Very good. It's the 1st. Very good. Well done. Okay, now, next question, 13. Who was a flag bearer of Imam Hussein alayhi salam's army? Hazrat Abbas or Hazrat Ali Akbar? So if you remember, who did we say had a big flag? Who was a flag bearer? He held the flag for the army or the group. Yes, Hazrat Abbas. Well done. Okay, excellent. Nearly there. Very good, Madhya. Come onto the board. Number 14. Why is the majlis held? Why are majlis held in Muharram? To meet and greet family and friends, to learn about the Quran, Ahl-Bayt and Islam and Karbala, or to eat food together. It's not too difficult. Which one is the main reason? Yes, that's right. To learn about the Quran, Ahl-Bayt, Islam, and Karbala. So as well as learning about the events of Karbala, in a majlis, the Malana or maybe the lady who's speaking, or she will also tell us about things from the Quran and the Ahl Bayt. Okay, so we learn things. It's like a class actually. All right. Okay, nearly there. I can't remember if I'm 14. Oh, last question. Okay. From whom did Imam Hussein alayhi salam buy the land of Karbala? So who do you think it was? The tribe of Bani Hashim, the tribe of Kufa, or the tribe of Bani Asad? Which one do you think? I didn't mention this, so this is a bit of a trick question. But I did say they brought the land, but who did they buy it from? Have a guess. All right, so it was the tribe of Bani Asad. Okay, excellent. So now let's see our podium. Are you ready? So in third place, we got Sirat. So well done, Sirat. MashaAllah, very good. And in second place, we got Sayyida Jiha. Well done, Sayyida Jiha, sorry. And in first place, we have Ryan and Rahi. Excellent. So well done to you three. And runners up were Mazhar and Mushtaba. Well done to you, and well done to everybody for taking part. Okay, well done. I'm really impressed with all of you. You've done really, really well. Okay, so that's brought us now to the end of our class. Thank you very much for joining our sessions. I've really enjoyed having you here with us. I hope you've learned lots of things through this summer camp, inshallah. And now just, I suppose, prepare yourself, like we talked about today, for the month of Muharram, and start thinking about majalis and the imams over the next few days, especially. Okay, anything anyone would like to say before we finish today?
Thank you, Miss. The class was very nice, and you taught us very good.
No problem. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank
And
you.
you've all been such a pleasure to teach. So I hope that you've enjoyed the sessions. Thank you.
Can you please share the Salamoji
Okay,
booklet?
Khuda Hafiz.
Jazakallah.
Can you
Khuda Hafiz.
can you please
Have a nice evening.
Khuda Hafiz. Someone wanted to say something?
can you please
The-
share the link of the Salamoji book that you put in
Yes,
your
you wanted
slide?
the link of the books. Yes, let me say.
Can you,
So if you go
can
to
you
Salam, I think it's Zara Trust website, they have many books there
Yes, but
that they've done. I'm going to share this one, yeah? Yeah, okay. All right. Sorry, before we finish, I think obviously I've forgotten something. Anyone remember what I've forgotten?
Miss, can you please share the slide?
Dua.
So I am Amiz Amana.
Exactly. Dua Imam Zan. You want the slides?
Yes, I'm going to send you my Gmail account in a minute.
Sure. Okay, that's fine. I can share the slides with you. Okay. So everybody, before we leave, if you want to unmute yourself, you can unmute yourself. Let's recite the dua of Imam Zamana together, inshallah.
I have sent my Gmail account.
Okay, excellent. I've got it, Sira. Thank you so much. I will send you the PowerPoint. Okay. Okay. Nabiha, would you like it too? Okay. All right.
Yes,
Brilliant.
please send
Excellent.
it to
Okay.
me.
So everyone together, unmute your mics, please. If you'd like to join the dua. Bismillah. Nobody's unmuted yet. Anybody want to join? Yeah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma
كل وليك
biwaliyika
وجدنا حسن صلواتك
salawatuka
عليه
alayhi wa
وعلى آبائه في هذا الدهر وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك توا وتمتع فيها حين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
mashallah, you recited that beautifully, everybody. So, or someone's tired. Okay, so let's do one salawat and then we'll end the class then. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Okay. Okay, everybody take care, inshallah. Khuda Hafiz.
Hafiz.
Have a nice evening.